how do I know you're really with me if we've never struggled together or never had an obstacle? Maybe not struggling, but what if we've never had an obstacle? Are we just living in la la land, or are you really with me no matter what? Because thick and thin does not exist in 2022. They only want to come in when shit is thick. They don't want to come in when shit is thin.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I know you're gonna be here when shit get frail? I don't. And we just, as a man who is achieving everything I've ever dreamed about in my life, I do not trust a new girl coming in at this height. I don't do. It's harder for me. Cause how do I know you're gonna be here if shit goes south?
But anything is likely. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know that person is gonna be there. I understand what you're saying because that person would appear to be loyal because they've stuck by you during not so great times. You know, but I guess I still question.
But it's your mentality.
What do you mean?
If it's your mentality. If you tell me, hey, listen, I'm here, but I'll never go 50-50 with you. I already know your willingness is not here. You've already defined what your character is when push comes to shove. I don't have to guess who you are. You've already disclosed that information to me.
Absolutely.
Now it's on you to make that choice.
Now it's a conscious decision of whether I just want somebody who's going to be here for the good times.
But that's not going 50-50 doesn't mean that they're only there for the good times.
Well, I mean, now I'm not talking about 50-50 on the previous episodes. I'm talking about 50-50 in the episode that I just described earlier right now. The episode of like, or the perspective of like, hey, listen, right now I could be going 100. I'm 100 and you're at 0. But maybe this last 7 years, shit hits the fan. I need you to go to 100 for 3 years. That's 50-50.
Yes.
I went 100 for a certain time frame. Now you're going 100. But if you're not willing to do it,
is it really ever acceptable to be at 0?
I think it is acceptable.
There's definitely hard times to go be at 0 though.
It depends on the risk that you're willing to take.
0.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Bad accident.
Wait. Let's paint a picture of what 0 is. 0 means that you're not putting anything into that relationship. You're not putting anything into the relationship. You're not putting anything into that woman. You're not putting anything into the house. You are at 0. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I'm talking.
Are you talking about
and
both?
this is why I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah.
My question is it ever acceptable to be at 0?
I need more context. What's a certain context?
I got one.
All right, go ahead. Finish. Wait, finish.
And I don't mean just money.
Yeah, so intangibles as well, you're saying?
Anything. Because
Intangibles and tangibles cohesively included.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Y'all was saying yeah, so I just want to know.
We're saying yeah in terms of tangibles. Because if I'm a man and it's going to cost me, for example, and I know a story and I can't say his name, but he only had $300,000 to his name. And he made a $287,000 investment. And he said, hey, listen, this is the last of my money. If this goes south, I have to go back to the streets. Luckily, it made him $300 million. Okay? I can't tell you who it is and what it is, but it made him a lot of fucking money. Right? And it's somebody we all know today. Very famous person. But granted, whatever girl he was dealing with, shit, $13,000 left to your name is damn near 0 if you had 300. We were gonna call it 13%. But I'm saying like some men have to make a certain sacrifice, and some sacrifices cost for you to go all in. Do you trust him or do you not trust him is the real question. Do you trust that he can bounce back even if he fails on this? I don't know.
I was watching the movie The Founder, and that's how McDonald's got started. So he was dating his wife. No, he was married to his wife, and he was always like selling appliances. That's what he did. His name was McCruger, and he's the one that took McDonald's for the McDonald's brothers. But it's about the wife thing while I'm bringing this up. So anyway, he took a lien against the house. He didn't tell his wife, so he leveraged that because he wanted to
out of line
have money to
out of
he wanted to have money to compete with trying to get this
out of fucking
so
line.
he did that And she did what you just said. She flipped out like, how could you do this and not tell me? Guess what? He said, okay. The deal hit. She's arguing. He said, you can have the house and the car. I'm good. And he left her for another woman that saw his vision.
She's still entitled to have.
No. She don't get that. You're missing the point.
How?
When he was in his building stages, she never believed, but he just stuck it out, right? Because that was his wife.
But didn't he take money out of their home?
No, he paid her. Okay, my bad. When he started getting the height of it, he was smart enough to like give her the money, like I give you some money, whatever. But she never got the McDonald's money
Afterwards.
She never got that.
He cut the tie.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did it quickly.
Well, that's different.
No, but to Rico's point,
She didn't get the full benefits.
she didn't trust him.
Yeah.
And that's
she
fair.
Didn't trust. Oh, going back to the 50-50 thing,
Sorry.
it's like Rico said, it's about a trust thing, and I get it. Sometimes it's blind faith, but if you know your partner, if you see him making his goal, was there a zero?
Child, I'm
Damn,
sorry.
you just going on.
That's like Christmas carols.
Aaron's soul.
No, hold on. I'll know.
It might be important. It might be important.
Oh, because you were talking about is zero ever acceptable? In her eyes, he was at zero because she was like, "You always going door to door selling this. You going for a different establishment." And he just needed someone to believe in him, whether it's the company, whether it was his wife, and the main thing, his wife. That was his home. He can take from his colleague because he was getting ridiculed. He was going to, back I said, this is probably when in the 50s and 60s, he was going to like those burger joints, really just trying to sell appliances, and nobody believed in him, not his wife. So yes, to your point, him taking a lean out on the house and not telling her, not cool. But he already knew that she didn't see the vision. But he said, you know what? Even though she don't see the vision, I'm still gonna do this. Unbeknownst to him, when we win, we all gonna win. He could have went differently. So what I'm saying is, can zero be acceptable? To her eyes, that was zero. And she didn't accept it, and look, she lost out. So I think sometimes zero can be accepted, but if it's intentional and you know your partner, and sometimes, blind faith. You believe in God, you don't see him, right?
Ever.
He don't come when he wants you to. He come when you needs to. And that's what's that moment. That's it.
Typically, the winner or the person who comes out successful or comes out the victor, they're the ones who write the history. So really, I'm just saying, it's based on somebody's real life, but we don't know how supportive this woman was. It sounds like he just found another side and wanted to be with his side. That's what it sounds like. I'm just saying, But again, I ain't write the story. The man is the one, because he was the victor. He wrote the story. But I just think that let's keep in mind perspective. That's all I'm saying.
So he did it out of spite?
I'm not saying spite. I'm saying that when you're the one with the platform, when you're the one with the money and the power, you create the narrative. You create the story. You create the headline. You create the lies that can turn into the truth.
But why would he make it now?
What do you mean?
What does it benefit on him? McDonald's is already a multi-billion-dollar business.
But that guy didn't write that movie. I'm just saying what was perpetuated in history and then turned into a movie came from him, came from his story. And because he's the one that came out on top, we only got his side. It sounded like he had a side piece. That's all.
I got a question to ask you. So you are sorta-ish married, right? And I want to talk about
what is sorta ish? Are you married?
I'll ask a
complicated.
Question, so my question is, why I'm bringing this up is, Aaron, you are married, Aaron, but also this is a guy that is married as well. What does 50-50 look like to you in your perspective?
50-50 means to me, basically, it's down the middle, don't matter what it is. If it's bills, if it comes to the kids, if it comes to the household, 50-50 means, like, we going to work this out. Like, if, let's say, she gets paid more than I do, then I'm picking up the slack everywhere else. So she could take the higher bill, like for instance, like the mortgage. But it's my job to get the groceries, the electric bills, the cable bills, everything else. But because if I handle that, if I jump 50-50 on to the mortgage, it's going to affect me as my pockets later on down the line. So later on, she's going to wind up carrying me.
Yeah.
So we got to make it work.
You know what I realized too, and think maybe this is a new narrative that we can actually start to push and make sure that it's actually understood. 50-50 is not just a financial thing.
Exactly.
50-50 is a sacrificial thing. So are you really sacrificing the same amount as me?
Yep.
That's the main thing I need to
Yeah.
know. If I'm over here and if I am carrying the weight of every single bill in this house, you need to be sacrificing everything to maintain that house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we are 50-50. Now, if you are not, or if you have a problem with it, see, this is the thing this is where I lose, certain things. When you have a problem with sacrificing, when I say problem, when you complain about your sacrificing part, now it's like you're doing a 50-50 thing, but you're not being appreciative of your spouse's sacrifice, right?
Mhm.
Now,
Well, you saying because you complain about what you're doing, that insinuates that you don't appreciate your spouse's
yeah,
efforts?
in a sense, you're kind of looking at it as less than yours. Because in order for me to,
Oh, you're complaining about what they're doing.
no, let's say if I'm complaining about what I'm doing, right?
Uh-huh.
But let's say if, for example, she's cooking and she's cleaning, right? And she's complaining about the expectations on her to cook and clean. But I'm not complaining about the expectations of me paying all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're belittling my duty to our relationship because you're looking at it as less than. If now, my thing that I always say is, can you switch roles?